Hello Game Vinyl community, this is Matt. Just a real quick update video. I went into a pawn shop, that's PAWN, earlier today. Got a few CDs. I've been in there before, this particular shop, several times. They used to sell records, but according to the guy, the last time I was in there, somebody went in, made an offer for the whole lot, and I guess they sold the whole lot of records to the guy. So I don't know what he gave them. They used to have hundreds of records, but mostly junk. I had bought a few records from there before because they were 50 cents each, so it's a pretty good deal. But um, it turns out the CDs are also 50 cents each. So I just got three today. I went in for one that I'd seen in there before, but when I tried to buy it before and I wanted to pay by credit card, they said, well, there's a $10 minimum. And I won't get into the reasons why that irritates me, but not to mention why they're not supposed to be doing that. But for a 50-cent CD, obviously, it wasn't worth it. I had to look around to try to find something else to go over the $10. Couldn't find anything, so I ended up leaving. But today I had a few dollars with me. I was going to the Savers thrift store anyway, which I didn't buy anything from, but I thought that what the heck, I'll stop by the pawn shop. It's almost next to it. So first of all, this is not one of the CDs I came in for, but Carry On Up the Charts, the Best of the Beautiful South. The Beautiful South were I'm pretty sure they're British, British sort of contemporary pop band, at least contemporary for the late 80s and early 90s. They had at least one number one in the UK, and this includes Song for Whoever, You Keep It All In, A Little Time. I think A Little Time maybe was the number one. I forget. One of those three that I just read out was a number one hit. It has the cover version of Nilsson's Everybody's Talking, which is actually a pretty good version. Bell Bottom Tear, and a bunch of other tracks. There's 14 tracks altogether. And I didn't have anything by the Beautiful South, so I thought, well, I might as well buy it for 50 cents, what the heck. I do have some of their tracks in compilation albums, specifically the Now That's What I Call Music albums, the British versions. So next up, I got October Project, self-titled. I have liked October Project since the 90s. I first heard of them when I got a CD. I want to say it was from like Empire Magazine or something. That rings a bell. When I was a teenager, and it had a bunch of movie songs on it, songs that have been in films. And Return to Me by October Project was one of them. Now, Return to Me is a song that was in the movie Blown Away, which I haven't seen, but I believe it was in the end credits. Absolutely fantastic track. It's really hard to describe the type of music that October Project put out, what kind of genre they're in. I mean, it's technically pop music, but it sounds almost Celtic or Irish or something. It's really hard to explain it. But they're actually from New York, which I suppose doesn't completely preclude them being Irish, but look at that cover. That's kind of cool, kind of creepy, but kind of cool too. And yeah, this has Return to Me on it, so I was pleased to get that. I was listening to some of the other tracks this afternoon, and they're pretty good. They are. I actually do have, not only do I have the self-titled CD, I also have their other album called Falling Further In, and I already had this, but I just had it loose for some reason. I think I brought this to the US from England, possibly, because it was in a whole bunch of other loose CDs that I cleared out recently. And so I thought, well, I'll just stick it in the same case. Falling Further In is also a really good album. The best song, I think, is Something More Than This. And yeah, you should check them out. Just go on YouTube. Well, I guess you're already on YouTube right now, right? Wait till the end of the video. And just search for October Project, Return to Me. I think you'll like it. Finally, the album that I came in for, KLF, White Room. This was the album that I tried to buy before. Again, it's just 50 cents, but I couldn't find anything else to make it to that $10 mark for the credit card payment. And if that had happened the previous time I'd been in the store too, and I'd forgotten about the credit card minimum. But whatever I was buying last time was worth well over the $10. So I was like, you know what? Just charge me the $10 on the card. It's fine, whatever. And the guy was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, whatever. But if this was on vinyl, I would have definitely just paid the $10 for it, because this tends to go for at least $40 on vinyl, if not 50 or 60. So it's just not very common. There's the disc, but I was happy to get it on CD. It's a terrific, I guess it's house music, technically house dance music, from the very early 90s. The album came out in 91. The most famous tracks on here are, well, probably 3 AM Eternal. That was the #1 hit in the UK. We also have Justified and Ancient, but it's not the dance version, or the version that most people know, which was the single release with Tammy Wynette. This is a more sort of ambient version. We also have Last Train to Trans Central, which is again terrific dance house song. It also has What Time Is Love as well, which is decent. I prefer the America version, America What Time Is Love, which I have on 12-inch single. But yeah, I think this is a great find. 50 cents, TLF. I mean, you got to have it, right? So that's all I got, just those 3 CDs today. I am expecting one 7-inch single that I ordered on eBay, and that is Once Upon a Long Ago by Paul McCartney. I'll probably show that at some point when I get it, because it's a really underrated track, and also a track that's kind of unknown in the US. It didn't get released here in the States. So yeah, I think that pawn shops can be a pretty good source for music. You wouldn't think about it necessarily. Of course, you think about record stores, you think about thrift stores, whether those are independent thrift stores or chains like Goodwill. But you don't really think of pawn shops so much. You figure, well, that's where people go to, trade in their power tools, sort of, or maybe their video game console. But a lot of pawn shops do have CDs. Some of them have vinyl too. Like I said, this particular store used to have vinyl until very, very recently. There is another pawn shop that I go to occasionally that does have vinyl. I have bought a few records there before. Let me see. I bought Spandau Ballet, True, the album, which was great because I've been looking for that for a while, and they had it for $3. I also bought the 12-inch single of When in Rome, The Promise. Again, another nice find. I already had the 7-inch single, but I don't know. It's a great 80s track. You don't pass it up for $3, the 12-inch version. And I think I bought one other album too that doesn't immediately spring to mind. But so yeah, pawn shops can be a good source of music in general, CDs, vinyl, and of course not just for music media, but for instruments, for even for things like amps. I don't find much vintage stuff in there, but they are starting to kind of cotton on to the fact that vinyl's made a comeback, or is making a comeback. So I do see turntables now in pawn shops. This particular one I went into today had a few of them. I didn't check them out. I came in for the CD, found the other 2 CDs too, but that's all I was going in for, so I didn't really take a look at them. So yeah, that's it, guys. Just a quick, real short video today. Thank you as always for subscribing, and until next time, bye-bye.